Neuvillette is one of those characters that has been out for about a couple of weeks now. He was one of those characters that when I saw him, I thought I'm gonna have to get him regardless of whether he's good or not. And on the run up to the character being released, I didn't actually know anything about him. I just knew that I was going to pull for him. And then his character trial came out and the rest is history. The dude is absolutely insanely powerful. And he just demonstrates how strong Hydro is as an element. Honestly, the only thing that he struggles against is Hydro infused creatures. Like the slimes and the weird water bubbles that we fight against now. Everything else though in the game, completely fair game. He could solo the entire world if he didn't accidentally come across a Hydro slime. His damage output is phenomenal. So I just kind of wanted to point out why the man is so good and to maybe help encourage some people that are thinking, should I get Neuvillette? Yes, the answer is yes. The man is so incredibly strong that you should 100% get him if you can. The banner, you've got 9 days, closer to 8 days by the time this video goes up tomorrow. For late game players, his banner isn't amazing. Diona, a lot of people have a lot of by now. Fischl, again, a character we see a lot of. Xingqiu, another character we see a lot of. For early game players, this banner's great. Diona is a fantastic shielder, Fischl's a great sub DPS, so is Xingqiu. And Neuvillette is just an insane main DPS. So if you're hesitating on this banner and you're worried, oh, maybe he's not strong enough, definitely get him. He's very good. Even on a free-to-play perspective, he's so incredibly strong. Well, let's take a quick look at how he's currently looking for me at the minute, and then we'll go from there. Because he is far from being at a state I am happy with. He will get there. But this is what we're currently rocking. So crit rate, 48 to 165. His crit rate is higher than it needs to be. I will explain why it doesn't need to be this high shortly. But I'm sure most of you know what I'm about to say. Crit damage, 165. Definitely could be higher. I'm still working on that. You know, pretty typical everything else. This, one of the few characters I actually do intend on getting to level 90. So by doing that, I get an extra 9% in crit damage, which I would very much like. But farming these is a pain. But I'm trying my best. In terms of weapons, we have the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds. This thing is very good for him. The crit rate is already a great bonus. It's a 5-star, so the extra attack is nice. And the increase to all of his elemental damage is very nice to have. In terms of alternatives, from what I've heard, the Widsith is a very good option for him because of the crit damage. The Widsith is a great alternative for him if you don't have a 5-star book like the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds, because I think outside of his signature weapon, which sadly I was not lucky enough to get, Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds is his best in slot from what I've heard. Great alternative though is of course the Widsith. The Widsith is fantastic, it is very good, and the fact that its crit damage is very nice. In terms of artifacts, we of course have the new Marichose Hunter, if I'm reading that correctly. As you can see, he's not done. I am very much working on this man because I have a number of teams I'm workshopping with him currently. And I honestly can't wait to try them. I've got like a weird Hyperbloom thing going on, which I've not quite figured out. I've got an Electrocharge team, which should be up relatively soon. And then I've also got, there's a Hazo team I have, which involves a bunch of swirly characters. And I'm going to stick him in the middle of it and see how that goes. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But for now, the man is not finished. And there's a reason for that, and it's because I don't have anything to really level up all of his artifacts. And also, the artifact pulls I'm having aren't great. Like, this is not a good piece at all. There's no HP percent. The energy recharge it's nice, but it's not needed. Crit damage is okay. The attack percent is a nice extra, but the HP percent would also be a nice bonus. It's not perfect, but at this point, I'm just happy to be almost done with it. This one, not terrible. I'm okay with it not having any crit rate. The attack percent is nice. The elemental mastery is nice, especially with reaction-based comps and stuff like that. HP percent, can't say no to. And crit damage. The rolls haven't been perfect. I would much prefer it to be going into one of these two stats currently, but it's only level 8, there's still hope. This is just pure pure copium at this point. It is like the only half decent HP percent sans I've got. At some point it'll be improved. I'm hoping it all goes into crit damage, but we shall see. This is my Hydro Cup. I do have better Hydro Cups, but the fact it is on set and not absolutely atrocious, I mean, it's not perfect, but it isn't absolutely abysmal. I was honestly shocked by it, and this will do for now until I get something like a really good crit damage headpiece, which, if you know anything about Genshin Impact, don't actually exist. I don't think I have a single decent crit damage percent headpiece in the game. I don't have a single one that I can think of. Damn, that is really good. And it's very upsetting. We have this bad boy, which rolled entirely into energy recharge, which is not, shall we say, not necessary. It's a bit excessive. He does have his ult a lot, which is, you know, it's nice, but it isn't super required. Yeah, he doesn't have a great headpiece. But in terms of these three, HP percent I think is the way to go. I don't know if attack percent or elemental mastery would be any better. Who knows? I will leave that up to smarter people than myself to figure out. Hydro damage because, of course, and then crit damage because you want those big numbers. In terms of constellations, he is Constellation 0, as are most of my 5 stars. Pretty much anyone that isn't on standard banner will forever be a C0. And in terms of talents, now, they are all fairly important, but the most important is, of course, his normal attack, because the normal attack is where his charge attack damage is hiding. And that is the most important part of his kit. His other skills, also nice for some pretty solid damage. I'm quite happy to upgrade these, but again, you could honestly just keep these at 6 and just level this one up as much as you possibly can, because ultimately this is where his charge attack remains. Neuvillette is one of those characters where I am probably going to triple crown. There is one character I have triple crowned in this game, and that's Tartaglia. And that man is my favorite character in the game, and no one has ever come close. Yelan is pretty close, I'll give her that. My dude Neuvillette over here though, he's giving Tartaglia a run for his money. I'm telling you now, this man is incredibly fun to play. But that is his talents. So that's a brief rundown of my Neuvillette. He is not particularly well built. As you can see, he's not even finished. But let's go have a cheeky demonstration of what his damage numbers are currently. As you can see, the man is literally no competition against the common hilichurl. Because laser go burr. You literally just press E or Q, suck up some orbs, and then you just laser everything to death. Now, of course, this is merely just against a common hilichurl. But that is completely on his own. The man is doing about 8 to 10k per tick of damage with no buffs, no enhancements, no help from the rest of his team. I don't even have the Hydro bonus to increase his max HP. His relics aren't done. There's so many things that would make this character be considered incomplete. And yet, here he goes, laser beaming people to their doom. With literally 0 effort required. You start adding other characters into the mix, and he has a great time. The dude is just insanely good. Admittedly, the man's basic attacks leave a lot to be desired, but why in the world would you basic attack when you can do that instead? That was with the Widsith. You want to know how much crit rate I had for that? 15.5%. The man can have almost no crit rate, and with this artifact set, just completely decimate the competition. Then you add some half decent characters into the mix. The man doesn't need to try. It's almost effortless. Of course, his build and everything could be a million times better. But for the average player, his free-to-play potential is absolutely insane. You really don't have to spend a lot to invest in this man, which is very, very nice, because there are some characters out there where their signature weapon just makes them absolutely insanely strong. Neuvillette, I'm sure his signature weapon does make him incredibly strong, but for the most part, you really don't need it. The man is just that good to begin with, that as long as you build him half decently, he's going to do some really significant damage. But honestly, there's just so many teams out there. There are just so many teams out there I want to try this man with. It's absolutely insane. I think it's he has such a unique playstyle that we haven't really seen in the game yet. It's completely new. The whole beam firing thing is completely unique to him currently. Now with that, admittedly, he's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone is going to want to, you know, be charging up his laser all the time and just doing charge attacks. This, ironically enough, is the opposite and somehow similar to a character that I don't like or care for in the slightest. Ganyu. Ganyu is a character who you only really play as charge attack Ganyu, and I don't know how strong she is now compared to back in the day, but back in the day she was an insane DPS, one of the highest DPSs just on her own due to her charge attack capabilities, and her playstyle never interested me. And I'm sure Neuvillette is very similar to some players, and that's perfectly understandable. In that case, Neuvillette wouldn't recommend. But for the most part, honestly, doing this all the time, less the charging up part, doing this all the time is very satisfying. And I'm excited to see all of the weird and wacky teams people can come up with for him. Currently, I'm mainly working on my taser comp for him, which involves Beidou, because Beidou's burst works on normal and charge attacks, which makes this electro charge team very exciting, and I'm looking forward to workshopping it a little bit more. But yeah, Neuvillette is just an incredible Hydro main DPS that they've added into the game. Again, his playstyle may not be to everyone's taste, but I can assure you, to me, he 100% is. And if you are looking for a Hydro main DPS, or just a main DPS in general, Neuvillette is honestly one of the strongest that we currently have. And he doesn't even require that much work, which is absolutely phenomenal. But with that, I think I'll leave it there. I've hammered on the point. I just wanted to mention and slightly demonstrate how strong the man is, despite the fact that he's not done. I'm far from complete with his character. I'm getting the man to level 90. He's going to be triple crowned. His artifacts will hopefully get better. We'll see on that one. We will see on that one. But the man is he's absolutely insane. He's a great character. He's really fun. I really enjoy him. And he's easily one of my top 3 characters now, I'd say. And in terms of Hydro characters, he is probably my second favorite. He's very close to pushing out Tartaglia as my top favorite, which is absolutely insane to say because I never thought it would happen. But Neuvillette is very close. It's very close to making that switch. Enough about that. Hopefully I've labored on enough. Neuvillette is very good. Anyway, thank you for those that stuck around to the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Neuvillette. Did you pull for him? Did you lose your 50-50? I'm very sorry for anyone that did. It's not a good character to lose the 50-50 on because the man is he's just chef's kiss, shall we say. That's all I have left to say anymore. Anyway, I've been James, the Mayor of JamessTown, and until next time, where hopefully I get to talk about this with another brand new character, goodbye.